Guys, I'm super excited to be sharing a new recipe tonight. I have not done this recipe before. It's my first time doing a recipe. It is part of the Simple Summer Collection recipes. So it is one of the recipes that comes with this collection. I've been doing really good with my meal planning, and this is on my menu plan for right now. And I've been using these collections to help me meal plan. So I've got them printed and stapled. So I have lots of different recipes because it's great. Like, I love looking on the website and using the website, but at the same time, like, it's really nice to sit down and like have them all organized like this. So this is what I've been doing. I highly recommend it. There's so many. If you go to my website, jenlaurie.epicure.com, and then you click on the recipe tab and then click on meal plans, there is so many of them. I don't even have all of them printed yet. So I've been using the June one and the summer one and the themed ones to make my meal plans every week, just to try new recipes, keep cooking exciting, having new flavors, and finding and discovering new ways to enjoy the products. So this one uses the teriyaki. It's called Teriyaki Tofu Glory Bowls. It's another plant-based recipe. So another idea, if you're looking to get more plant-based proteins into your diet, this is a great one to try. So first things first is I just have to make up the marinade. So the marinade is, I'm actually halving the recipe because not all of my family will eat tofu. So I'm only doing a half recipe. So be patient with me as I am calculating things in my head and dividing as I'm talking and sharing with you. So I am just gonna put my teriyaki seasoning in a bowl. I'm gonna put some honey in a bowl. I'm going to have my soy sauce. So my Bragg soy sauce here. It isn't that hard to do the math, but when I'm talking to you, my brain doesn't listen as well. So, okay, and half a tablespoon of oil. So half a tablespoon of oil, and that is everything. And my honey is sticking. I should have done my oil first, so tip for you, when you're measuring marinades or recipes out, if oil is in the recipe and honey is in the recipe, measure the oil first, because then the honey slides right out of your spoon. I didn't do that, not this time, but I usually do. Okay, I'm just gonna turn my frying pan. So it says to use a cast iron pan. I don't have a cast iron pan. I'm just using a regular frying pan. And so you just use what you got. That's what I love about Epicures. We really do a lot of use what you got kind of thing. So I have this block of tofu here. It's the organic non-GMO tofu. You can get a 3-pack of it at Costco. It's the best value. That's where I get it from. And it's, you know, pretty, it's got the clean ingredients. It's actually made in Canada, this brand in particular, which is kind of cool. And, okay, so I've never done this with tofu before. I cook with tofu somewhat regularly, and though I've never made it this way before, so we'll see how easy it is. But I just cut it in half. I did a kind of a bad job doing it, but it's all good. And then it says to cut it in half again, and then to cut it into triangles. So this is going to be 2 portions. So I guess 4 of them is a portion, but this one is like super thin, so I'll have to kind of take a couple from the thin one and a couple from the thick one to make it portioned correctly. And then we just dip it in the marinade. Oh, when you take your tofu out, if you've never used it before, it comes in a kind of a bit of a liquid in the package, so you make sure to drain the liquid. And so drain the liquid and then just pat the tofu out on a paper towel to get the liquid off, and then it's ready to be used, cooked however you want to cook it. So then I'm just dipping these in the marinade, and because we're not dealing with like raw meat, I'm actually it says to preserve the marinade, so I'm going to not be dumping it. Because of course when you're using meat, you would have to dump it. With this, you don't have to dump it. I guess that's another benefit for plant-based eating. But here is, I would love to know if you are into trying new plant-based protein options, because I am always looking for new recipes and different ideas and different ways to incorporate it. We definitely do eat meat, as you already know by looking at the recipes we create in our kitchen. However, I do like incorporating plant-based meals also. So there's actually not a lot of marinade left after all of it, so there won't be much left. Anyways, so we'll let that fry out. Turn that up a little bit. And then calls for cucumber, some cabbage. I had cabbage earlier this week with my peanut butter chicken sandwich, my Asian peanut butter chicken sandwich. I can't remember what it's called, but it was so amazing. I had it 2 days in a row. It was amazing. And I have all this cabbage left because we bought a whole big cabbage and shredded it up ourselves. So I'm going to be using that. I'm going to be using some mini cucumbers I got from the farmer's market. I'm just going to be making slices. So I'm just using the mandolin to make thin slices because that is faster than using my knife. And they're going to be really nice even slices as well. And then it calls for shredded carrots, but I got some carrots from the farmer's market and cut them all up already into carrot sticks and had them like ready for my kids to be able to just grab and eat out of the fridge. And so they're already cut up, so I have to be a little more creative with them because shredding them is not going to exactly work. I don't think anyways. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use this slicer, or peeler, it's a peeler. And I'm going to do ribbons instead of grated. So I'm going to do these fun little ribbons instead of grated. So definitely it works. We use what we can. So I'm going to just do that with my carrots instead. And I'm going to use as much of it as I can. Oh, that smells good. I love the teriyaki. If you love the Epicure teriyaki, post down below what your favorite recipe is. What do you do with it? What do you make with it? I love it. I've had it on salmon. It's really good on salmon. It's really good on chicken, obviously. I don't know. Every recipe I've done with the teriyaki's been good. But I would love to know if you have something specific that you do with the teriyaki, because I'm always up for trying new things. Hence why you see I'm always making different recipes. That's one of the things I love about Epicure is I never get bored. And one of the things I've heard most in the past year is people are just bored. They're cooking at home and everybody, like, hands up. You're probably, lots of you are probably in that same boat where you're just kind of making the same things every day. And that gets really super boring. So no doubt you're going to be wanting new things. That's one of the things that I've always really loved and appreciated about Epicure is the fact that I can try new things constantly because there's so many different recipes. They're all really super fast and easy to make. They only use whole food ingredients, so it's super easy for me to not have to customize it and make it fit to make sure that I'm eating the way I want to be eating health-wise. And so, yeah, I've just always loved that about Epicure. Okay, so I've got some carrots, I've got some cucumbers, I've got an avocado. I only need half of the avocado. I'm hoping it's a perfectly ripe avocado. It seems to be. I think it's a little bit brown. So we'll see how much of it we can salvage. been in my fridge a little while, so it felt like it was probably good on the outside, but I knew it had been there a while, so I knew it was gonna be time. So I've got some cubes here. They're like borderline. They don't look beautiful, but I'm sure they're just fine and taste fine. So I'll eat them. Not that one. That one's on the floor. All right, good enough. Okay, I'm going to flip these. So you just want to kind of get it crispy on the outside. You're not cooking it to have the tofu actually like cooked, because you don't have to cook these in order to eat them for safety reasons. You just want to cook them because they're really yummy when they're kind of like crispy on the edge. So I really like tofu when it's crispy on the edge. So we're just kind of frying it up to have the flavors kind of marinate into the tofu, but also to have that like crispy outer texture. Some of them are a little more crispier than the others. So we'll just let that continue frying. So I'm going to check out this. I don't usually actually use my steamer to cook rice, but I did it. So I put just a half portion in here, and hoping it turned out, because I don't know if it turns out when you make a half recipe. It seems to be fine. Yes, it is. It's really fine. So if you only need 1 or 2 portions of rice, this works really, really well actually. So I've got my rice in here. It cooked up really well. It's just the perfect portion for 2 people. So I'm going to divide that between my 2 bowls. Here's a good tip. These make great portions for leftovers, or for leftovers for lunches, or even if you just want to plate it right away before you're serving it. So I love using these 4-cup prep bowls. So I'm just going to stick my portions of rice. So what I had is half a cup of rice with 1 cup of water for 10 minutes. Every microwave is a little bit different, so you'll have to adjust the time according to your microwave, but it's in and around that time. Normally it's like 12 to 14 minutes for a whole cup of rice, which would be 4 portions of rice. So I don't know, I think I'm happy. It worked pretty good. I wasn't sure what I was gonna get when I pulled it out of there. So half a cup. You can even put seasonings into it to have extra flavor in there. And I think then once it's browned, we just put them all together. It's so easy. It says once it's cooked, it says you can re-toss them in the marinade. So you can re-toss the tofu in the marinade to, I guess, put more flavor on them. So I'm just gonna look and see this one's ready. So I'm gonna put that in the bowl. This one's cooked enough. It's kind of cool. I've never, like I said, I've never done this recipe before. It seems pretty neat. I don't know, it's working. Very, very simple to cook with vegetable proteins, I tell you. No checking temperature, making sure you're not going to make anyone sick. I used to be that person that checked my meat 100 times because I was always so worried it was not going to be cooked enough, and I always overcooked it. That's one of the things I love about these steamers, is I never overcook my chicken when I put it in there. When I used to cook it in the oven all the time, always overcooked. Okay. I have kind of a super thin one, so I'm going to grab a big fat one so I'm eating the right portion size. And then I'm just going to turn that off and let that be. And then I'm just going to grab up half of the cucumbers. I'm going to grab a handful of carrots. I guess I could have put some more veggies underneath it, but it's all good. I'm gonna lift that up and throw some cabbage in there. And voila. We've got it. It's good to go. So there's my, what is it called? Teriyaki Tofu Glory Bowl. So quick, easy, delicious. I am going to enjoy this. Let me know if you've tried this recipe before or if you are going to try it. I'm curious because I want to check in with you and see how you liked it. Stay tuned, soak up the summer. I talked about it earlier. It's going to be so much fun. I'm going to be sharing all my fun adventures with you guys and on my Facebook profile as well. And then, yeah, we're just going to have lots of fun. I look forward to seeing those of you who are local throughout summer. I hope you can pop into one of my open houses and come see me. I am booking cooking classes still. I'm doing virtual, I'm doing in person, and I'm doing a hybrid of both depending on what your preference is or if you're local or not. And it's going to be lots of fun. And our host, because everybody's still eating all summer, right? Yeah, we all still eat all summer. So that's the beauty of Epic Cures. It happens all summer long still. And when we are, what was I going to say? Oh, for hosts, we have this backyard bash. They're going to be doing giveaway every Friday. So the week prior, one of the hosts is going to get picked to get a fun backyard bash gift collection, which is going to include a whole bunch of Epicure to make delicious meal, like a delicious whole spread of food. And then you're going to get cash as well, so that you can throw a really amazing, fun backyard bash with your friends and family this summer. So that's just another perk of hosting this summer season, is getting your name into that draw. And there's going to be a draw every single Friday for that. So thank you guys so much for being part of my community. I look forward to having this summer season with you guys. Reach out if you need any help or have any questions, or if there's any specific things that you need help with in the kitchen. I'm always available to help you. So reach out anytime. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you later. Bye.